first loss of the season on Tuesday, and right to the cup, Jizzle James gets off to the good start. Howard's starting lineup features Gill, Campbell, Dockery, Harper, and Strong. A big absence, second consecutive game with no Bryce Harper. Beg your pardon, Bryce Harris. Harper is in there right now. He's driving, and he gets fouled.
Bearcats.
Coach Blakeney, his sixth season with Howard. He's the first coach to lead the program to consecutive NCAA tournaments. He was named the MEAC Coach of the Year in 2023 and played under a very good one, Mike Krzyzewski at Duke, where he was a two-time national champion.
Not a bad coach.
Yeah, some would say he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Most wins all time between Army and Duke.
Yeah, more of a personal relationship with those two guys.
Cut to the baseline. Here's Gill, the transfer from LaSalle. Nowhere to go for Harper. Timer down to 7. Gill working his way inside, fighting through. Gut grabbed and one. Anwar Gill, who's taking on a larger role with Harris being out of the lineup, has a chance for a three-point play.
He's just probing on the baseline, and Aziz just sort of backed out of the way.
Here's Lukosius, a lethal three-point shooter to begin the season. James off the screen now, down low to Bandego. Hook shot is short. All right, Terry, we'll start with your keys to the game. Howard first.
Well, first of all, they got to play loose, wild, and free. The young, wild, and free. Don't worry about any of the mistakes. Just get back and play your game, and then have amnesia. The Bearcats are going to have some highlight level, really become somebody that can kill you off the bounce.
Here's Strong, who had a very good game from the three-point line in the last game against Mount St. Mary's for the Bison. Despite that being a loss, Strong was 4 of 7 from long range.
The Bison are catching the Bearcats after a loss, which means in practice intensity is at a different level of focus. And you can tell by the defensive intensity.
Heel. He gets the bounce there. He comes in at just 6% at the line, and you just heard the crowd start to cheer a little bit. Fan favorite Dan Skillings has made his return. He's been out since the season opener against Arkansas Pine Bluff, in which he scored 17 points and 11 rebounds at a minor leg procedure. And they are certainly glad to have Skillings back. Two for Mitchell.
No knee brace either. Action right here on the baseline, kicks it over to him, rolls up to him and says, "I got you, big fella."
There's no question Villanova has the talent. It's just been a struggle in the post-Jay Wright era. And I think it's unexpected for any team to go undefeated over the course of a season. I think it's more of how Cincinnati lost to that game that was the most deflating.
Yeah, they didn't have their signature defense. I mean, this team is first in the Big 12 in allowing opponents under 58 points per game. But they didn't play their characteristic pressure defense. They didn't take anything.
First one rims out for Bandego. His second season at Cincinnati. He is second in the Big 12 in blocks per game. A presence in there. 8 rebounds per game as well. Big 12 honorable mention a season ago. Another really good story for this Cincinnati team. A guy that didn't play much his first couple of years at Akron, then went to Utah Valley, where he emerged as one of the best defensive players in the nation. Away from Shockley Okeke, and over the sideline, out of bounds. Last touched by Cameron Shockley Okeke.
Dan Skillings with the pressure, but there's nothing like pressure from your point guard. Fake, up, got you, left hand high off the glass with the kiss. Shout out to Bill Raftery, put it up off the glass. What an impressive layup, left-handed offhand for Day Thomas, last year's starter, who's coming off the bench and giving quality minutes in that backup role.
Away from Shockley Okeke, and over the sideline, out of bounds. Last touched by Cameron Shockley Okeke.
Dan Skillings with the pressure, but there's nothing like pressure from your point guard. Fake, up, got you, left hand high off the glass with the kiss. Shout out to Bill Raftery, put it up off the glass. What an impressive layup, left-handed offhand for Day Thomas, last year's starter, who's coming off the bench and giving quality minutes in that backup role. So far, since he's been here, John Newman was a good one. Dylan can pretty much guard 1 through 5 with his quick feet.
That'll
Philosophy, you realize, man, this guy not only comes from good stock, but he's a great spirit, great soul. He was one of our best interviews in pre-production meetings. I mean, he is quite the guy. And we thought that if we kind of, you know, that 91, 92 team, if we could have got past Michigan, the Fab Five, it would have been a great matchup with Duke that year.
quick first step. Gill stays right with him. Hickman.
So that's got to be Arrington Page, has got to be the screen and roller. Every time the coach gets the ball, he should have the freedom to break contact and break the offense and go set that screen, because he is the most effective roller with the ball.
I misspoke. He did have a bucket early. It was no scoring in a while for Lukosius, but he's up to 5 now with that make from long range. Good find to Campbell once again, but he's stripped.
Day-Day Thomas.
3-on-1 here.
Guards for Cincinnati. First of all, that was great offense by Howard, the dump down. But the guards of Cincinnati are slow to reaction. They're expecting Aziz to do everything defensively.
Lukosius got grabbed. Well, Coach Blakeney told us after last year's success against Cincinnati, they're not going to be scared coming into this game, and the Bison giving the Bearcats everything they can handle right now, Terry.
Well, they're tough. They don't see the name on your jersey. And
got the defender in the air and banked it in, and a timeout.
Cancer, so it's very personal to us. He's our brother, our leader of that Final Four team, our best scorer, our best rebounder, our best defender. He's quite a guy.
Any donation you can make, again, that is v.org/donate to support the efforts for cancer research. Back to action in Cincinnati. A very good game in this first half. The turnaround for Lukosius goes down. He is leading Cincinnati in scoring with 7.
Sloppy ball for the Bearcats. Come out in that play, particularly.
Coach Blakeney, if going to back-to-back NCAA tournaments has brought in a different level of interest from recruits, he said, yes, of course it helps, but the pedigree of the school attracts more kids than anything else. Good hands inside from Strong, and he saved it off of Bandego out of bounds. So the threes aren't following for Joshua Strong, but good on him to get in defensively and win the possession back for Howard.
You just watch how the ball movement for the
Found us on the offensive side. Guys?
Thank you, Kelsey. Then Mitchell found it, and a timeout for Coach Blakeney and the Bison.
That's
Quick
what
little
hustle does.
4-point burst there for Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's what hustle does. Dylan Mitchell steals the ball, throws it before it gets out of bounds, missed the layup, couldn't connect with Arrington Page, but guess who's following up right there? Dylan Mitchell with the left-hand putback. And just like that, the Bearcats scramble out of that timeout.
Position, and a little worse for wear getting up.
I mean, watch this. He, behind the back, does a little Jamal Crawford hop step, side step, puts it up, and then gets kicked in the back of the head as he falls to the ground. But that was Jay Boogie's favorite move. Behind the back, and then just catches it, and then does a hop step to remove himself from the presence of the defender. Puts it up, nearly gets the and one.
That's the second foul on
out now.
Dom Campbell.
Oh, they're going to call. It's
2 of 2 for Page, and the lead is 3 for the Bearcats. Johnson working on Hickman, trying the backdoor cut again, and almost taken away. Hickman now just getting back up.
Josh Reed should have been flared out to the three-point line. He's in the area of Arrington Page. That's his domain. And it just brought an extra defender there, and he couldn't catch the ball.
Harper 79% at the line on the season. Makes them both to give the Bison the lead. But coming up at the half, we've already previewed the Crosstown Shootout next week. We'll have more on that. And he's in double figures.
Yeah, the Bearcats are going to have to start running some.
Coming up. If you're just joining us, even more impressive for Howard considering they're doing it without Bryce Harris, who Coach Blakeney said is the heart and soul of this program, maybe the most important recruit to ever come to Howard, because no team at Howard has had the level of success that Howard has had since Bryce Harris joined the program, but unavailable for the second consecutive game. Still playing very well on the road against a top 25 team.
but he got pushed below. Let's look at this one more time.
This was unbelievable. Between the pass, the catch, the finish, you name it.
I mean, he catches it with left hand, put it in two, gets swatted in the air as he was coming down with it, and then turned around and looked at the defender. He said, "You haven't read the rest of my resume, huh?" Scouting report says, "You are now on SC."
You can see what Howard was missing. Good drive to the baseline.
Yeah, there was nobody on the block, so it was easy for him to peel baseline and go up before Aziz can get a chance to give secondary defense.
Good look at a three for Lukosius.
Look at the big fella. Take it back up. He got hit on the pass out, but he got a weak side rebound, and he turned to get the three-point shot back out to Cimas Lukosius because he understands that he's hot. But look at this two-hand, just jumped over everybody as he's there. One of the
career at Maryland with the Terrapin. Now they are really connecting on the lobs in this second half. Another one for Bandego, who's now in double figures with 10, the third Bearcat to get there.
The most dunks for the Bearcats so far since that Eric Hicks and Jason Maxiel team. Oh, that was a kick. They didn't call it.
Ricochets out to Lukosius. Turnover for Howard once again. Lukosius more of a calm and tranquil player. He's not going to be out. The third foul on James, by the way. Betsy back in, along with Page and Thomas for Cincinnati. Joining Mitchell and Skillings on the floor. Getting close to a 5-second here, and it's lobbed out to midcourt. And lucky for Dockery, Skillings, the gamble didn't pay off. Knocked away from Dockery.
Come on, Skillings. Never gave up on the play. Grabbed it out of the air, sort of kicked it behind his back to Arrington Page.
Chance for 4 at the line and getting tickled by his teammates. And he just tickled the twine, and his teammates said, "We're going to tickle you."
That's love. That's love. I mean, look at this. He gets shot, and just the follow-through just runs right into him. Much improved three-point shooter. Yes, he made 7 of those last year in the game against West Virginia. 29 points, 7 of 11 from downtown. He also had 5 steals in that game. Accepted his role off the bench. Nothing but a leader. Wants to win. And when he gets in the game, he makes.
Joshua Strong had to come all the way back into the backcourt to help out.
Look at the defense right there by Arrington Page.
Now he's grabbing his shoulder.
Oh boy.
He's down along the baseline. Still not back in the play. He is still down. Dockery driving. Pull up. Yes. And now Page, who's rolling in pain, will need to get checked out. He never even attempted getting back in the play.
That's not good going into the crosstown shootout. He's trying to get up.
Here's Hickman, still 2 points off of 1,000. He's had a couple of quiet games in a row now.
There you go.
Betsy inside. Bandego the follow. And one.
But Tyler Betsy pump fakes the ball, doesn't get the basket, but he has to attack the basket. He has to learn from Cimas Lukosius. Cimas was not doing these plays last year. He gets to the basket. Look, he draws both defenders, which frees up a weak side rebound. Takes his time, pump fake, shows it, puts it up off the glass.
Thanksgiving was especially tough for him. Coach Blakeney told us he didn't sleep for about 3 days leading into their last game against Mount St. Mary's. And for a guy that's always been an underdog, always counted out, dealing with personal turmoil in his life, really just emphasizes the player that he is, that he goes out there day in and day out, puts on a show like this against a Power 5 team.
Yeah, he's a guy that's, his story is still being written. I mean, how lefties, man, it seems like every lefty has a beautiful shot.
Yes, even in baseball, think of Ken Griffey Jr. with his swing.
Yes. We haven't mentioned, Connor Hickman, but he has been tremendous defensively, rebounding the basketball. He hasn't made any shots, 2 points away from making 1,000, but he has been steady out there.
Mitchell.
Team managers, and look at Day-Day Thomas.
That's going the other way, an offensive foul with the extension for Anwar Gill, who is just fouled out. That is number 5 on Gill.
His feet are so quick. And then he gets up, points the other way, then he holds his chest and takes a deep breath and says, man, he took that one for real. But when you talk about the analytics, they don't have an analytics department like the big schools have, so they go with the talent that they have. You got young guys that want to get into, guys and girls that want to get.
Howard Law, at 21 years old, the only Division I basketball player who is a current law student.
And it's crazy. His brother is a lawyer. The athletic director was a lawyer, and he's got all of this support. But remember, I mean, look at this play right here. Just a nice little lob play, catches it. He's facing the defender, just drops it back in. And then on the other end, just picks the pocket, goes down in transition. Nobody picks him up and just drains the walk-up three. Such a machine by this young fella. And just like that, it's a 14-point game, and Howard is here to play.
Absolutely unbelievable day for Harper, who has 21 and 10, a double-double for the freshman. His first career double-double. Hickman, too strong. Harper trying to get there, he could not. Playing slip and slide at midcourt. Thomas tries to force the pass, Hickman gets it, the floater. Off the mark again, still.
This time and powered it back up.
Certainly encouraging for Cincinnati, not losing Page for an extended absence.
Day Thomas just beat you to the spot with those active feet.
Took him until late in the second half against Howard, but congratulations to Connor Hickman, 1,000 career points.
I'm waxing poetically about his defense in prior possessions, and he shows up with the steal and a layup for his 1,000 point. Congratulations.
Didn't even start in high school. He didn't play on any of the major AAU recruits, the Nike UIBL, all that kind of stuff. He wasn't really part of all that. And now starring as one of the best freshmen, not only in the MEAC, but around the country.
Look at Big Arrington.
He threw it away at the end of it, now into the hands of Dockery. Shockley Okeke off the mark.